Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and greetings all Lean practitioner joining us for around the world. My name is Cristian Riveros, Director of Operation of Lean Institute Chile, and it's a true honor to be here this afternoon here from Santiago, representing our institute and sharing the stage with Nestor Gavilan from Lean Institute Spain and Edison Collinao from ME Elecmetal, Technical Director, who has been leading the implementation of lean product and process development in Elecmetal. Our presentation is titled Innovating with Purpose, How Lean LPPD drives the creation of solutions for the future mining, because that's exactly what Lean LPPD allow us to do, connecting innovation, learning, and purpose to create real value to our customer, especially in an industry here in Chile and other parts of the world as challenging and vital as mining. Next, please, Edison. Our table of contents. First, we have to talk about the lean journey of Elecmetal and LPPD concepts. Second, we talk about the context where LPPD begins. Third, the purpose, why the company needs to change the challenge, our challenge. Fourth, the implementation, how lean product and process development was applied in Elecmetal. And finally, we talk about the results, the tangible outcomes, and learning about his journey. Next, please. First of all, we have to talk understanding the history. It's important to look ML Elecmetal lean journey, a long-term transformation that's been evolving years after year. In 2018, the journey begins with lean principle focuses on operation improvement and manufacturing efficiency, who work was done to solve one high impact tactical problem to reduce lead time, and with great result for everyone. In the next year, the lesson learned and positive result began to replicate in other departments. The company moves toward stabilizing and standardizing its key process, creating the foundation for lean culture. Next year, the introduction of Hochin Canry marks turning point, aligning strategy with daily operation across departments, resolving strategic problems, and connecting the strategy with the continuous improvement every day. And the last 2 years, Elecmetal embraced lean product and process development, connecting strategy, innovation, and product design into one unified system to make different from the competition. Next, please. Today, Elecmetal have a Hochin Canry strategy every day, the strategic compass. But with LPPD, those strategic move to the next level. They become concrete innovation projects that deliver measurable customer value. This is where the purpose becomes action to make new products faster than the competition. Now I'll leave with you, Nestor Gavilan, to briefly present LPPD concepts.
Okay, thank you, Christian. Well, when I was invited, let me say, to coach the team a little bit in terms of tools for the LPPD, first thing that we did, it was an amazing group of people, passionate. So we decided to introduce some of the concepts of the LPPD. First thing was to make the team understand that what was the LPPD by itself, ensuring that they understood that the process was this that you can read here, no? That process development was about creating value through a process based on knowledge and learning. So it was very important, of course, deliver the value that the customer was defining, but also ensuring that the team had the right mechanism across the process by itself to really compile the learnings, no? So what we did was really put some of the tools suggested by the main authors, and as I mentioned, on the whole process, no? From the customer value, the concept development, the product design, the product or service production, and finally the sales. So this was focused, and what I did with the team, basically, if you can pass the slide, please, Edison. What we did was to do a full training to the whole team, that we cover like 4 main blocks. We covered, the first block was tools and methods that would be able to provide help on understand what the customer wants. This was like the first chapter. Some other tools or methods that was about creating flow, how to create flow. The third point was about how to manage the problems during the executions of the product development, and finally the last thing was about the structure. So just to highlight some of the tools, in the first chapter we covered things like how to use the Canvas, SciPox, how to join and to link the initiatives with the Hoshin Kanri of the company that Christian has mentioned, how to introduce concepts like charters, thanks to the E3s that the company already did, and finally the concept papers. In the second block, the creating flow, what we insist was we covered the part of how to really map the whole process that I mentioned before, and start, thanks to this this method, to identify waste in the LPPD area. The third block was during the execution, so propose things like build ovellas room that were able to find the opportunities and to manage the problems during the execution. And the final thing was the structure of the teams by itself, and how did we coach and gave all the capabilities needed by the team. So with those proposal of tools, the teams voted some of them, and Edison will present the real application, let me say, the real value added that the adventure has. So Edison, if you want to continue with that.
Thank you, Christian and Nestor, for this invitation. I will try to explain and share to you our experience using LPPD in our company. First of all, I'm in charge of the technical department for South America and ME Elecmetal company. Our main role is develop and improve some products for our mining industry here that we have in South America. And we provide for that equipment, different equipment, different products for wear conditions, several wear condition and impact that we have there. So it's a huge market in the mining. So we ensure to change the design there. In this slide, you can see a workflow. Then you can see different equipment from the mining, primary crusher, first stage. But there is a very important equipment, the SAG mill, and where we have different parts, as you can see here. You can see here a 3D model. And the yellow part is a specific part and where we don't have much market share. And so we have a very good opportunity. You can see different design of product that we manufacture in our company. Here's the business opportunity that we have, $50 million that we have. And now our participation in the market is very, very small, just 7%. We compete with different other suppliers, local suppliers and international suppliers there. So in the end of the day, we have just tremendous opportunity to increase our business expansion. Regarding to the how to use the lean approach in our company here in the past, in several years ago, we use that lean for improve our process. But from the last year, we start to use LPPD, as explained Nestor, for that solution, for the specific product named pop lifters. So today, this year, we apply that for others solutions according to the experience that we have the last year. So we identified different problems here, long product development cycle times, no differentiation valued. We was asking the value with this specific product. We have complexity manufacturing process. And the other thing was about the design capabilities. Well, in the end of the day, the purpose of this project tried to develop the puff lifter product, applying in an agile way using LPPD. Different approach in the past, in the yellow block boxes, you can see the mining that we sold that product. But in the blue, like a blue color, you can see the difference proposal that we made and proposed to our customers. So that the history, our background, and that business. The other thing was the materiality and multi-sourcing strategy with different kind of solutions, with casting, with rubber, the other metals that we have, ceramic, etc., and different sources to make that part. On this implementation, we established a team and using along with our advisor from Lean Institute from Chile and Spain. We dedicate that time in a weekly session to understand the problem. And the first question was, what does the customer need? And in the mining industry, we have different users coming from the metallurgical aspect, operational guys in general, maintenance, the people from the purchasing, etc. So we define the primary customer, and where we apply the first tool coming from the LPPD was the canvas. We identify the pains, the problem, the concern, and at the end of the day from our customer regarding to they want to increase the tonnage per hour, they want to use a different product with they have some restriction with the weight. So the idea was to use that tool to identify the opportunities, and then with that paint we applied create a strategic other method to arise some new ideas, initiative, products and services that can help to that concern that our customer has. So that was alignment to our ME Fit strategy. We have an alignment with the ME Fit strategy that we have in the company, and where every proposal that we have, we are looking for availability, materiality, recovery. All the time, our philosophy of new products is looking for that. It's part of the KPI that our customer has. Well, with that ideas that we collected to that canvas activity, we put in a list, and we put an order in different topics. And at the end of the day, we use an effort impact matrix to evaluate that and that group team. And we we put in that 12 products and service initiatives in different groups, and that we name system or subsystem for that problem. So, for example, to have just only develop sources to make that part, maybe to develop sensor for that products, new materials, new designs, etc. That kind of group appear in that first activity that was a canvas. Here you can see the priorities. We put some priorities and to put the effort, because we create some leadership for each A3 that we create. And we divide in two big A3. The first one was the business project, and the second one was the A3 for the LPPD that's tried to clean and eliminate some wasted some problem that we identified in our process. So for that, we create the other thing, we create that value stream mapping from the product design stage to manufacturing stage, and that we appear some main gaps, two main gaps, according our experience with the different projects from different customer, and then, well, the main gaps was proposal design and development stage was not standardized. It's without the standardization that we had there. And the client validation phase was another one that we have some problem there. The phase 3 was to create that A3 for that. We conclude that A3. And the first one was to create some process of a product designer point of view, and the other thing was how to capture quickly the feedback from the customer. Well, the fifth counteraction was a standard work, and we developed different activities with time, with different sequence of tasks for the engineering design. And that was very good because we control how much time we can spend developing a proposal for that product. For the other hand, we have the A3 for the business, and where we have different leadership to create a new solutions, new features. It's like when we appear a new iPhone, new version. Well, it's something that we create a new feature to have a differentiation with our competitors, and an alignment with the canvas, that we find in some question to the customer to find what they need. And the step number 4 was related to the how organize that activities, and we create a daily management. We made every week to follow up the design activities, feasibility with our manufacturing process, some simulations that requires different products. That we name it World Cells for Design. Was very good too. And regarding to the subsystem, we have different meetings and different leaderships to follow up that initiative regarding, for example, to find new sensor, design guidelines to improve the performance for the time of create some proposals. The other thing to create our facility for that product. We use the other tool was the Obeya management, and was very interesting too, to provide visibility. Different projects for different mining. We create that panel as a physical panel. We put it in our wall here in our office, and we follow the activity in different block, and at the end of the day, try to gain some orders from our customer. That was very interesting also. Finally, what was the result for this different action that we was working last year? Well, first of all, LPPD, with LPPD was possible to divide the product development in different stage, and provide some visibility of the problems in different interface of the process. The other thing was to create value. I think was very interesting to use the canvas, and connecting with our flow, and create value in our products. Communication and coordination was very important also, between different areas. Okay, that's the other learning that we appear in this process. And well, that slide can show you different proposal for new designs that we presented to our customer. Paracatu is a customer in Brazil, Escondida, 2 gigawatt mining, north of Chile. Well, we can see the general assembly drawing that we have. Well, coming from if you compare with some indicators from the previous year, 2023, just we did 3 proposals. It's a very poor performance. And during this process of LPPD, we made 15 proposals. So we increase the performance in terms of, try to provide to the sales team more opportunities to sell. The other thing that was to reduce the lead time. We have a lot of complexity here, a lot of problems. Some project was in standby. In the end of this project, we achieved 16 days. So supporting to the standardization. That was very good. Finally, here you can see some examples. In the end of the day, that we are looking for is try to get business, new opportunity to sell to our customer. You can see in this picture, puff lifter after manufacturing process, and puff lifter installed inside the mill. So that the reality that we are looking for. Thank you. If you have any question.
Okay. Thank you, Edison. A great presentation and very clear. So we have some questions. Let me check. Did you use the Canon matrix? I know maybe this is a question for Nestor, or for Edison, or for me. I know we didn't use it, Canon matrix. but use another different tool to design. Maybe Nestor, if you want to answer.
Yeah, we didn't consider to use the Kano model. Part of the value, as you have seen, we decided to go for the Kanbans. I think that really the work presented by Edison in the part of understanding the real value from customers. So they did a great job there. So when we were doing the work sessions, we decided, and let me be clear, I suggested strongly to go to the Gemba, so identify some of the customers. And Edison, maybe you can mention that you decided to go really to the Gemba and visit some of the customers just to understand what could be some of the real gains that they could have by joining your expertise on the product and the real needs that you identify on the Gemba, right? So maybe you can
Yeah,
explain some.
we went to some important customer from BHP, 2 gigamata, some customer. The other thing was very important to connecting with our commercial vice president for South America. That has very good experience, very good knowledge about the products, and we connected with him. That's because it was very important that he wants to put in that product. That's very important to the vision from our leadership internally here.
Okay, thank you. Another question is, how much did the standard work concept help you to speed up the planning?
Well, the standard work was key. Now we are applying in another type of product here. And the idea I mentioned, sometimes that project was stopped without lacked information, different problems. But in that is activities, we put in a formal way to our designers what they can do, and we put the description of the task, that time regarding to that. And that's what, and then at the end of the day was very important to facilitate the work for our designer.
And everybody make the same work or the same steps to make quality process.
Yeah.
And the last question, Nestor, do you have the last question?
Yeah. So I like to close this way. Edison, if you should give like an advice to the audience, let me say, in terms of somebody that wants to apply the LPPD, like what should be like the first thing, or what would you suggest to any person that wants to start with that practical?
Well, I think the LPPD combine different tools coming from Lean. You can go to the classic method to follow projects, but using approach coming from Lean, you can use Oveya, daily management, Canvas. The idea is try to improve our productivity, our approach with our customer. That's very good. And the other thing that I can recommend, if you can add value some certain products, you can put in a subsystems using the concurrence engineering. Toyota, maybe they use the concurrence engineering, and they do in parallel different features for their cars. People work dedicated to the digital solutions, new solutions, other people to improve the chassis.
Yeah.
etc. You know, that you can go in parallel, in
Okay.
new and serials, you know. That's the other thing that we found that was very good and we can apply it. And now this year we are using LPPD with other products.
Mhm.
We have more other initiative. That's
We are
that's
on
what we do.
time. We are on time.
It's a
Thank
pity.
you, Edison.
Oh, sorry. Thanks to my friends.
There's so much to
Yeah.
explain. Thank you so much, Edison and
Thank
Christian.
you, Edison. Thank you, Nestor, and everyone.
Yeah, thank you to the audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.